Juoch Jai La Chapter Mot Bansua Huan Chin Voi Gia Kao Hon. Chapter Mot, the voice message in the parents group. 10 days before the college entrance exam, the school started arranging accommodations for students whose test centers were far from home. Out of the 70 students in my class, more than 30 needed to stay near the exam site. That afternoon, my homeroom teacher called me into her office. "Emma, you're the most responsible student in class. I'll leave this to you." I nodded. For the past 3 years, almost everything in our class had gone through me: printing study materials, collecting fees, registering for mock exams, organizing school events. Everyone had gotten used to saying, "Emma, can you take care of it?" And I never said no. This time was no different. For 3 straight days, I visited nearly every hotel near the exam center. The cheap ones were too far. The close ones were fully booked. Finally, I found a newly opened luxury chain hotel. The rooms were spotless, breakfast was included, the environment was quiet, and most importantly, it was only a 5-minute walk from the exam center. The manager saw that I was a student and offered me a discounted group rate, $980 per night. The regular booking price online had already risen to $1,250. This was the lowest price I could get. That night, I organized everything carefully: room photos, hotel location, walking distance screenshots, pricing, checkout policies. Then I sent everything into the parents' group chat. Less than 10 seconds later, my phone vibrated. A voice message. Sender Karen Miller, mother of Sophia Miller, the most popular girl in class. I clicked play. Her sharp voice blasted through my phone. $980 a night? Are you booking a hotel or a penthouse? The group went silent, but only for a second. Then another voice message came. She's only 18 and already knows how to make money. Who knows if she's taking commission from all this? My fingers froze. My mom was sitting beside me, cutting fruit. The moment she heard it, her face darkened. What kind of person says something like that? I didn't answer. I just stared at the screen. 3 seconds later, messages started flooding in. $980 is way too expensive. My son usually stays in hotels for under $100. It's only 2 exam days, that's almost $2,000. Emma, did you even compare cheaper places? I opened my photo album, preparing to explain, but before I could, Karen created a poll. Should Emma lose her booking authority? 2 choices: yes, no. I watched the votes rise: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Within minutes, the yes votes were crushing everything. My mom looked pale. "Emma, stop helping them." But I stayed calm. I posted screenshots of the hotel listing. "This is the discounted group rate. The normal price is already $1,250. It's 5 minutes away from the exam center. Breakfast is included. I'm not charging anyone extra." The moment I sent it, Karen laughed through another voice message. "Screenshots can be edited. If you're really innocent, show us your chat history with the hotel manager." My chest tightened. That chat included parents' phone numbers, reservation details, personal IDs, private information. I couldn't expose that. So I replied, "There's personal information in it. I can't share it publicly." The second I sent it, Karen replied instantly, "See? She doesn't dare show it." Then she dropped another bomb. "My cousin owns a guest house nearby, clean rooms, good service, only $180 a night." "Leave it to me." The group instantly exploded. $180? That's way better. Parents are way more trustworthy. Kids don't know how the real world works. My mom was shaking with anger. "They're framing you." But I kept staring at the screen. The poll ended. Yes, 61 votes. No, 12 votes. Karen sent a clapping emoji. "The majority has spoken. I'll handle the bookings from now on." I sat there in silence. For the first time in 3 years, I realized how fast trust could disappear. But what made my blood run cold was when I clicked the address of the guest house she sent. It was 6 miles away from the exam center, and the road passed through the lowest part of town, the first area to flood whenever heavy rain came. I opened the weather forecast. 3 days later, severe storm warning, bright red. At that moment, a strange feeling of unease slowly rose in my chest. The next morning, the moment I walked into class, I felt it. The stares, the whispers, the silence that stopped the second I stepped in. I tightened my grip on my backpack and kept walking. Then I heard it, a voice from the back. "Hey, Emma, how much commission were you making per room?" Laughter broke out. My steps froze. Another voice followed. "Almost $1,000 a night, that's insane." She really thought she could scam all our parents. I turned around. It was Jason, Sophia's closest friend. He was leaning against his desk with a grin, like humiliating me was the funniest thing in the world. I looked at him, coldly. "I didn't take a single dollar." He shrugged. "Sure." More laughter. I sat down, but it didn't stop. All morning, people kept whispering, looking, judging, like I had become some kind of criminal overnight. Even my best friend Lily looked uncomfortable. At lunch, she finally sat beside me. "Emma," I kept eating. She hesitated, then asked quietly, "Did you really not take anything?" My fork stopped. That question hurt more than everything else. I looked at her. "You think I would do that?" Lily lowered her eyes. "I don't know." That was enough. I stood up and walked away. For the first time in years, I realized trust wasn't as strong as I thought, not even with the people closest to me. That afternoon, Sophia found me outside the library. She smiled gently, like always, beautiful, perfect, the kind of girl everyone liked. "Emma." I looked at her. She sighed. "My mom can be harsh sometimes." I said nothing. She stepped closer. "But honestly?" Her eyes softened. "If the price was really that reasonable, why didn't more parents agree with you?" That sentence hit harder than I expected, because it sounded soft, but it carried the same accusation. You must have done something wrong. I stared at her, then smiled, very slightly. "You came here to apologize?" Her expression froze for half a second. Then she smiled again. "I'm just trying to understand." I walked past her, without answering. That night I couldn't sleep. Something about that guest house bothered me, so I opened the address again and started searching. At first, nothing. No official website, no business registration, no recent reviews. That was strange. A place holding over 30 students should at least have something. I kept digging. Then I found it. An old local complaint forum. 3 posts, same location, different dates. Water leakage, unsafe wiring, unlicensed shuttle service. My stomach dropped. I clicked deeper, then found satellite images. The guest house wasn't even in the main town. It was in an old floodplain district, low ground, narrow roads, poor drainage. If the storm warning was accurate, that whole area could flood in hours. I immediately messaged Karen privately. "Emma, Mrs. Miller, I checked the guest house location. It's in a flood risk area. The weather forecast says there'll be severe rain during exam week." She replied in less than 10 seconds. "Karen, still jealous you lost your little money-making scheme?" I stared at the screen. Then another message came. "Karen, don't contact me again. Blocked." I sat there, my fingers cold, my chest tight. I wanted to warn the others, but I already knew what would happen. No one would believe me, not anymore. The next morning, our homeroom teacher called me into her office. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept. "Emma." She hesitated, then asked, "Did you check that guest house?" I froze. "You knew." She sighed. I had doubts. My heart sank. "Then why didn't you stop them?" Her face turned bitter. "Karen has influence. Half the parents trust her." She looked at me and said something that made my stomach turn. "Just keep 3 rooms at your hotel, quietly." I frowned. What? Her eyes were serious. Trust me. And for the first time, I realized maybe she was worried too. After leaving my homeroom teacher's office, her words kept replaying in my head. Keep 3 rooms. Quietly. That meant one thing. She believed me. Or at least, she believed there was danger. That afternoon, I went straight back to the hotel. The manager recognized me immediately. You're back? I nodded. I want to keep 3 rooms. He frowned. But didn't your group cancel? I forced a smile. Just in case. He looked at me for a moment, then lowered his voice. You're lucky. We only have 3 left. My heart tightened. I paid the deposit, almost all my savings. Over $3,000 gone in one swipe. When I got home, my mom nearly lost it. Emma, are you crazy? What if nobody uses them? I stared at the receipt, then said quietly, what if they need them? That night, the weather warning got worse. From orange on to red, severe thunderstorm alert, flash flood risk. I took a screenshot, then sent it into the parents group. Emma, the storm warning has escalated. Please double-check the guest house location. That area floods easily for 30 seconds. No one replied. Then Karen's voice message came, loud, mocking. Here we go again. Can't scam us, so now you're trying to scare us? The group exploded. Emma, enough. Stop making drama. You sound bitter. Then Sophia finally spoke, a text this time. Sophia, Emma, everyone already made their decision. Please stop causing anxiety before the exam. That one hurt, not because it was harsh, but because everyone respected Sophia. The second she said it, the whole group sided with her. I stared at my screen, and for the first time, I stopped replying. The next day at school, the rumors got worse. Someone had printed out the hotel price list I made and taped it on the classroom wall. At the top, in red marker, Emma's luxury scam package. Laughter filled the room. Someone even added, includes secret commission. My face burned. Jason laughed the loudest. Maybe she should have charged $2,000. Sophia stood nearby, watching. She didn't laugh, but she didn't stop it either. That was worse, way worse. I ripped the paper down. My hands were shaking. Jason smirked. Truth hurts? I looked him straight in the eye. No, I crumpled the paper. But stupidity is expensive. The whole room went silent. Jason's face darkened. Sophia narrowed her eyes, but before anyone could say anything, the teacher walked in. That night, rain started, light at first, then heavier. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, listening, thunder, wind, rain hitting the windows harder and harder. At 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzed, a message from Lily. Lily, Emma, are you awake? I replied. Emma, yeah. 3 dots appeared. Then, Lily, the roads near the guest house are starting to flood. My dad just drove past there. I sat upright. My heart slammed against my ribs. Then another message. Lily. Karen said it's fine. She told everyone to stay calm. Outside, lightning split the sky, and for the first time, I had a terrifying feeling. Tomorrow, everything was going to fall apart. At 4:12 a.m., my phone rang. The sound tore me awake. For half a second, I didn't know where I was. Then I saw the caller ID. Lily. I answered immediately. Her voice was shaking. Emma, the guest house is flooding. I sat up so fast my blanket fell to the floor. What? There's water in the hallways. The power keeps going out. People are panicking. Thunder crashed outside. Rain hammered against my windows. I jumped out of bed and ran to the living room. My dad was already awake, watching the news. Every channel showed the same thing. Road closures, flood warnings, emergency alerts, and right across the bottom of the screen, historic storm hit city, flooding expected in lowland districts, exactly where the guest house was. My stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and opened the parents group. Messages were exploding. The first floor is flooded. Why's the power out? The shuttle driver isn't answering. What do we do? Then Karen sent a voice message, but this time, her voice was nothing like before. No arrogance, no mockery, only panic. Everyone stay calm. My cousin is figuring something out. 3 seconds later, another parent replied, your cousin left. The group froze, then chaos. What? He took the money and disappeared? My son says the lobby is underwater. There's no transportation. I stared at the messages, then Lily called again. They're trapped. My throat went dry. How bad? Her breathing was uneven. The road outside is completely flooded. Cars can't get through. Then she said the words that made my blood run cold. The exam starts in 3 hours. 3 hours, and the test center was 6 miles away. No buses, no rides, no clear roads. If they missed the first exam, like their entire future could collapse. At that moment, my dad stood up. He had heard everything. Without saying a word, he grabbed his keys. What are you doing? I asked. He looked at me. We're going. My mom turned pale. In this weather? He didn't answer. He just put on his jacket. I looked at the group chat again. Panic, blame, fear. And then, Karen sent me a private message. The same woman who blocked me. Karen, Emma, please, help us. I stared at it. 100 emotions crashed through me at once. Anger, humiliation, bitterness. This was the woman who ruined my name, who turned everyone against me, who called me a scammer. And now, she was begging. Another message came. Karen, please. Sophia's crying. She can't miss the exam. My fingers tightened around my phone. Then my teacher called. Her voice was urgent. Emma, I know. She paused, then said, how many rooms do you still have? I swallowed. 3. Silence, then, that might save them. Outside, lightning lit up the entire sky, and deep down, I knew this storm was only the beginning. The rain showed no sign of stopping. By 4:35 a.m., the streets outside were already flooding. The emergency alerts on my phone kept going off. Flash flood warning, avoid lowland roads. Inside the parents' group chat, things had completely fallen apart. People were screaming, blaming, begging. Karen's cousin had disappeared. The shuttle service never came, and the guest house manager had stopped answering. It was chaos. Then Karen called me, not text, a direct call. The moment I picked up, I heard her crying, real crying, not the arrogant voice from before. Emma, please, I'm begging you. I stayed silent. She kept talking. Please save Sophia. She can't miss this exam. My jaw tightened. Just 2 days ago, this woman called me a scammer. Now she was crying into the phone. My dad looked at me. Are we going? I hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. Not for Karen, not for Sophia, but for the others. The students who trusted adults and got dragged into this mess. I grabbed my jacket and ran. Before leaving, I called the hotel manager. He answered on the second ring. Emma? I need those rooms now. He sounded surprised. You're checking in? No. I took a breath. I need more. Silence, then. We're full. My heart sank. Please. He paused, then lowered his voice. There's one conference hall left. It's...
The cracking sound ripped through the storm like a gunshot. For a second, everyone froze. No one moved. Then I looked up. The concrete wall beside the guest house had split open. A jagged crack ran straight down the middle. Rainwater had soaked the foundation for hours. It was giving out, and Sophia was standing right next to it, her back almost touching the wall. She didn't notice. My heart dropped. Sophia. I screamed, but the rain swallowed my voice. She turned, confused. Chunks of concrete began falling, small pieces first, then larger ones. Her eyes widened, but her body locked up. She couldn't move. Karen saw it too. Her scream tore through the storm. Sophia. Move. But Sophia just stood there, frozen. I didn't think, I ran, straight into the floodwater. The water splashed up to my knees, slowing every step. The wall groaned louder. The crack widened. I pushed harder, my shoes slipped twice, but I kept going. Sophia finally realized, but it was too late. The wall was falling. I lunged forward, grabbed her wrist, pulled her with everything I had. The next second, boom, the entire wall collapsed. Concrete exploded into the water behind us. The shockwave threw both of us forward. My shoulder slammed into the pavement. Pain shot through my arm. Water filled my mouth. For 1 second, I couldn't breathe. Everything sounded muffled. Rain, screaming, thunder. Hands grabbed me, pulling me up. I coughed violently. Water poured from my mouth. My vision cleared. Sophia was on the ground, sobbing, her whole body shaking. Karen rushed over and hugged her. Oh my God. Sophia. Then her eyes moved to me, and froze. For a second, nobody spoke. The truck engine was still running. Rain hammered against the roof. But inside, everything felt frozen. 15 minutes, that was all we had, and we were still 20 minutes away. Lily was the first to speak. What does that mean? I gripped my phone tighter. It means if we don't get there in 15 minutes. I couldn't finish. Nobody needed me to. Sophia's face went white. Jason cursed under his breath. My dad slammed the steering wheel. There has to be another way. I opened the map. My hands were shaking. Road B was closed, flooded, blocked by police. But there was another route, a back mountain road, longer, steeper, normally 30 minutes. In this storm, it might still be our only chance. I looked at my dad. He understood immediately. It's dangerous. I know. He hit the gas. The truck sped forward. 10 minutes into the mountain road, my phone buzzed. Karen, I answered. Emma. Where are you? On the way. Her voice was trembling. Will they make it? I looked at the clock. 7:49 a.m., 11 minutes left. I don't know. Silence. Then she started crying, real crying. I'm sorry. I stayed quiet. I shouldn't have accused you. I shouldn't have taken everyone there. Something about that line felt wrong. I frowned. What do you mean? Karen froze. Too late. I caught it. What did you mean by that? Her breathing got heavier. Then she whispered, my cousin gave me money. The truck went silent. Even my dad looked over. What? Karen cried harder. He said if I filled all the rooms, I'd get a cut. My blood ran cold. How much? She hesitated. Then, $4,000. No one moved. Jason looked stunned. Sophia looked like she'd been slapped. All this, everything, because of money. Sophia grabbed the phone, her hands shaking. Mom. Tell me that's not true. Karen didn't answer. That silence was enough. Sophia's face broke. You ruined everything. She dropped the phone. Tears streamed down her face. I trusted you. Then, bang, the truck swerved violently. Everyone screamed. A huge tree branch had fallen across the road. My dad slammed the brakes. We stopped inches away. The clock read, 7:53 a.m., 7 minutes left. My chest tightened. This couldn't be happening. Not now, not after everything. My dad jumped out into the rain. The road's blocked. I looked ahead. The branch was massive, too heavy to move, and the exam center was still miles away. For 2 seconds, no one moved. Rain poured down. The fallen tree branch blocked the entire road. It was huge, thick enough to crush the truck if we had hit it. My dad stood in the storm, staring at it, his face dark. We can't drive through. I checked the clock. 7:53 a.m., 7 minutes. Sophia covered her mouth. Jason slammed his fist against the seat. No, 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 no. Lily looked at me. What do we do? I stared at the map, thinking, fast. Then I saw it, a narrow footpath, cutting through the woods, straight toward the back gate of the exam center. It wasn't a road, just an emergency trail, but it could work. I looked at my dad. If we run, how long? He looked, then answered, 10 minutes. Sophia's face dropped. That's too long. I looked at the time again. Not if we ran, not if we didn't stop. I opened the truck door, everyone out. Jason looked at me, I can't walk. I looked at his ankle, swollen, bad. Without a word, my dad crouched down, get on. Jason froze, what? Hurry. Jason climbed onto his back, his face full of shame. Rain soaked all of us instantly. I turned to everyone, run. No matter what. Sophia was shaking, her shoes slipping in mud, but she nodded. We started. The trail was steep, wet, slippery, branches scratched at our faces, mud pulled at our shoes, my shoulder burned with every step, but I kept moving. No one spoke, only breathing, rain. And footsteps. Halfway through, Sophia fell, hard, her ankle twisted, she cried out. I stopped, she looked up at me, tears mixing with rain. I can't. I grabbed her arm, get up. She shook, I can't do this. I pulled harder, yes, you can. She stared at me, then nodded. Slowly, she stood, and kept running. For the first time, there was no pride left in her, only determination, only fear, and maybe, respect. Then, through the trees, I saw it, the exam center, lights on, students rushing inside, my chest tightened. We were close, very close, but then my phone buzzed. 7:58 a.m., 2 minutes, Sophia gasped. Jason was barely conscious on my dad's back, Lily was crying. We pushed harder, the gate was right there, the security guards were preparing to close it, and if they shut it, everything would be over. Wait! I screamed as we ran toward the gate. One of the security guards turned, he looked at the clock. 7:59 a.m., 1 minute, run. I shouted, everyone pushed harder. Sophia nearly collapsed beside me. My dad was still carrying Jason, mud covered his legs, rain soaked his shirt completely. The guard started closing the gate, metal scraping, slowly, too slowly, but still, closing. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. We were almost there, just a few more steps. I reached the gate first, I slammed my hand against it, please. The guard frowned, you're late. I pointed behind me, they're students. He looked uncertain. The second guard checked his watch, 7 hours 59 minutes and 34 seconds, 26 seconds, Sophia stumbled through, then Lily, then 2 more students. My dad carried Jason in last. The gate slammed shut behind us, exactly at 8 a.m. For 3 seconds, nobody moved. We were alive. We made it, barely. Then Jason slid off my dad's back. He whispered, thank you. Teachers rushed over. What happened? Flood, roadblocks, collapsed walls, no transport. The story spread fast. Within minutes, the principal showed up, his face serious. He looked at us, especially me. You got them here? I nodded. He looked at my bleeding arm, my soaked clothes, my shaking body. Then he said, you should be in a hospital. I almost laughed. After the exam. Sophia stared at me, like she'd never seen me before. Not really. Then her lips moved, softly, thank you. This time, I believed it. Back at the guest house, the parents' group exploded. Karen's secret was out. Someone had posted screenshots, her bank transfer, $4,000. Every parent saw it. Messages flooded in. You sold our kids out? For money? Are you insane? Karen stopped replying. She disappeared, but the damage was done, and worse, the police showed up at the guest house. The owner had no license. No safety inspection, no legal transport permit, everything was illegal. If the storm had gotten worse, someone could have died. Inside the exam room, my hands were still shaking, not from fear, from exhaustion. My shoulder burned, my elbow wouldn't stop bleeding, but none of that mattered now. The paper was in front of me. This was it. Months of preparation, years of work. One shot, across the room. Sophia looked pale. Distracted, Jason could barely sit straight. And for the first time, I realized something. Some storms don't just flood roads, they destroy people. The teacher said, you may begin. I took a breath, lowered my head, and started writing. The moment the exam ended, my hand cramped. 3 hours, non-stop writing. My shoulder felt like it was on fire. The second the teacher said, time's up, I dropped my pen. Around me, students looked exhausted, some relieved, some crying. Sophia sat still, staring at her paper, like her mind was somewhere else. Jason limped out beside me. He looked worse, his ankle had swollen purple. You should get that checked, I said. He laughed bitterly, so should you. The moment we stepped outside, parents rushed toward us, chaos again, but different this time. No anger, only panic. Karen was there. The second she saw Sophia, she ran to her. Sophia stepped back. Karen froze. Sophia. Sophia's eyes were cold. You lied to all of us. Karen's face went white. I was trying to save money. Sophia laughed, a broken laugh. No, her voice shook. You were trying to make money. Karen couldn't answer, because it was true. Then one father stepped forward, Mr. Carter, Jason's dad, his face dark with rage. He held up his phone, the transfer screenshots, $4,000. His voice thundered, you gambled with our kids' futures for $4,000? More parents stepped in, one after another, shouting, blaming, demanding answers. Karen backed away, crying, but nobody cared, not anymore. The trust she used to control everyone, was gone, completely. Then the principal arrived, his eyes cold. He looked at Karen, then at the parents. The police are investigating the guest house. Silence. His next words froze everyone. The building failed every safety inspection. Gasps. If that wall had collapsed 10 minutes earlier. He didn't finish. He didn't need to. Everyone understood. Karen started sobbing. Her legs gave out. She fell to the ground, and for the first time, she looked truly broken. Sophia looked at me, her eyes red. Then slowly, she walked over, in front of everyone, and bowed, a full bow. I'm sorry, Emma. Everyone went silent. I should have trusted you. Rain still dripped from the school roof. The storm outside was ending, but inside, everything had changed. I looked at her, then at Karen, then at the parents, and for the first time, they were the ones avoiding my eyes. That night, the storm finally stopped, but none of us could rest. Tomorrow was the second exam. The hotel manager gave us extra blankets and water. The conference hall was packed. Students slept on couches, chairs, even the floor. I gave up my room for two girls who were still shaking from the flood, so I sat in the hallway, my arm wrapped in bandages, my shoulder barely moving. Lily sat beside me. For a long time, neither of us spoke. Then Lily broke the silence. I'm sorry. I looked at her. She lowered her head. I doubted you. Her voice cracked, when everyone turned on you. I did too. I stayed quiet, because it was true, and it hurt. She looked at me, eyes red, but you still saved us. I leaned back against the wall. Tired people make stupid choices. She shook her head. No, her voice was firm. Cowards do. That made me smile, just a little. Across the hall, Sophia sat alone, no makeup, no perfect hair, no crowd around her, just silence. She looked smaller somehow, like the storm had stripped away everything. Then she stood up, walked over, stopped in front of me, her hands clenched tight. I couldn't focus today. I looked at her. She laughed weakly. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that wall. Silence. Then she whispered, you could have let me die. My chest tightened, but I said nothing. Across the hall, Sophia sat alone, no makeup, no perfect hair, no crowd around her, just silence. She looked smaller somehow, like the storm had stripped away everything. Then she stood up, walked over, stopped in front of me, her hands clenched tight. I couldn't focus today. I looked at her. She laughed weakly. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that wall. Silence. Then she whispered, you could have let me die. My chest tightened, but I said nothing. At 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzed, a message from Karen, just 3 words, I'm sorry, then another, I'll pay everything back. I stared at it, didn't reply, because some damage couldn't be fixed with money. Across the hall, my teacher walked in, her face serious. She looked at all of us, then said, tomorrow's exam starts 1 hour earlier. Everyone froze, my stomach dropped, and just like that, the nightmare wasn't over yet. 1 hour earlier, That meant the second exam would start at 7 a.m., the room went silent, everyone stared at our teacher, Lily blinked. What? Why? She looked exhausted, so did all of us. Our teacher sighed, the storm damaged part of the city. The board moved the schedule up. Jason cursed under his breath, Sophia looked pale, most of us had slept less than 3 hours, and now, another exam. My teacher looked at me, Emma. I looked up, you need to rest. I almost laughed, rest? At a time like this, at 5 a.m., everyone was awake, no alarms needed, nobody had really slept, the hotel hallway was quiet, heavy, like the air itself was tired, my shoulder hurt worse, Lily noticed, you sure you can write? I flexed my hand, pain shot up my arm, I have to. Across the room, Sophia sat silently, staring at the floor, no one talked to her, not after what happened, not after her mother, she looked completely alone, for the first time, I almost felt bad, almost. We got to the exam center early, no flood this time, no chaos, just silence, the kind of silence before everything changes. As we lined up, Sophia suddenly grabbed my wrist. I turned, her eyes were red, I need to tell you something. I frowned, what? She hesitated, then, the poll. My chest tightened, what about it? She swallowed, my mom didn't make it alone. The world went still, Sophia looked down, I helped her. My stomach twisted, she thought the hotel was too expensive. I stared at her, and Sophia's eyes filled with tears, I told her. If we pushed you out, everyone would follow us. That hit harder than the storm, harder than the wall, this whole thing, wasn't just Karen, Sophia planned it too, she looked broken, I'm sorry. But this time, I felt anger again, real anger, cold anger. The teacher called us in, and I walked away without answering. Inside the exam hall, I couldn't stop thinking, the betrayal, the lies, the way everyone turned so easily. Across the room, Sophia sat frozen, her hands shaking, the teacher placed the papers down, begin. I picked up my pen, my shoulder screamed, but my mind was clear.